Hello and welcome back to the channel. We are in season 2 of the Crafterverse. We didn't have a name last season, but this one we do. It's the CrafterverseSMP, and in this video we're going to be working on our villager breeder. We gained and collected some of the resources during our last live stream. I stream Tuesdays, Thursdays and Sundays over on twitch.tv/crafter_Lou. So if you want to see me live, 7 PM UK time on those mentioned days. But yeah, we need to transport the villagers hundreds of blocks to bring them over here to get our villager breeder working. Let's get into it. I'm just going to smelt up some stone, the last bit. This is for like a future project and a little bit for the villager breeder as well. And then we're going to actually chop down some trees because I've been feeling a little bit cramped. So we'll chop down some of the trees here. Free up a little bit of space. So just what this is running through, this is a post commentary. I'm not doing this one live. I'm just trying to kind of understand different editing styles and the best way for me to actually record this content with streaming, taking clips from that, kind of the replay mod footage and things like that. So I'm going to try and keep it as kind of live seeming as possible, but none of it, the voiceover, has been recorded live. So we've cleared a little bit more space out now as well, so it's time to work on just a little bit more of the villager breeder so we can get the villagers ready to go into the breeder itself. And then we've got to do the absolute horrendous task of transporting the villagers. Lovely job. So now we've just got to actually have the trap doors in. We need to put the composter down as well so we can give the villager the farmer job. We're using wheat this time. Breeding works with food points. Carrots, potatoes and beetroot are 1 food point each, whereas each piece of bread counts as 4, I believe. So we need 3 pieces of bread to get the villagers to make a baby. So we're just lighting it up, and then we're going to add the trap doors in so the villagers cannot escape, and then we're kind of done within the farming cell, as it were. So we'll pop the trapdoors in now. Just make sure we get the middle block as well. All right, lovely job. So that's pretty much done now. The villagers now cannot escape, so we're just going to close up the farming cell itself, and we shouldn't have to come back in here. The only time we do is to break the minecart, sorry, to get the villagers out. So we're going to grab some of the rails as well now, and then we're going to head over to the village, which I think is probably about 1,000 blocks away. So I'm going to kind of like jump cut the sprint over, and you'll kind of get an idea for how far away the village actually is. So I'm so glad that once this is done, we theoretically never have to come back to the village to get any more villagers or to find a villager to trade with, because we'll have all the villagers that we'll need at our base in our kind of farming area. So now we're at the village, it's time to start placing the rails. We don't quite have enough, so we have to do this in 2 parts. So now we've got the painstaking task of laying rails all the way from the village as far as we can go. As I mentioned, we don't have enough rails to get the full way back, so we need to kind of get 3/4 of the way. So it's quite far, as you just saw on the map. We need to go about 3/4 of the way, stop, and when we get the villagers there, we need to break the rails again behind the villagers to then keep them moving in the right direction. So we're just getting across this water. It's the only bit of water we had to cross, and now we're placing the last few rails that we have. And there's me kind of, I get a little bit annoyed. I'm kind of like, oh, well, haven't got enough rails. Brilliant. So now it's time to actually collect the villagers. So I need to break some rails so we can put some rails down in the little hole that we'll capture them in and get them in the minecarts. As you can see, the villagers were actually relatively easy to get into the hole as well. We obviously only need 2, but we ended up with a villager just naturally walking into the hole towards the end. So we get this guy in and over. Thankfully, he walks relatively close to the hole, just a little bit of digging that we've got to do there to get him in. And once he's in, that's, you know, it's nice and easy. So yeah, as you can see, we've got 3 villagers there. So what I do is I kind of put some rails down like this and then just push the minecarts round and just hope that they kind of get sucked into the minecarts, which usually works really, really well, as you'll see in just a moment. So that's one of the villagers in now. We've just got to get the second one in, which, yeah, is just as easy as the first one. And now it's time to actually get them out of the hole. So we just connect the track back up to the track that we've got leading back over to our base. We'll get them out the hole, and then we'll put down the furnace minecart to push them as far as we can. So we'll just put a stopper here to make sure they don't fall back down. And then we send them on their merry way, and we will collect up rails as much as we can behind them to get them all the way back to the base. To be fair though, we don't need to collect all of the rails just yet. As long as we've got enough to get them there, we can clean them up at a later date. We won't need any of this much rail anyway for a long time. So now we're just sending the rail system all the way back to the villager breeder itself. We've collected enough rails to make it happen. Taking some trees down to, you know, prevent them stopping at all. The breath of fresh air that I kind of had when I could recognize the terrain and, the lack of trees that we're here, and we are finally getting them over. I think this took about 3 hours in total to kind of do everything and collect all the resources. So it's quite a long time. It's just, if there was a closer village, it would have made things so much easier. So the villagers are well on their way, running through the forest now, just making sure that they are keeping up and doing okay. And as we kind of run around here, I thought this was the end. I thought we'd ruined everything. I saw the villager get attacked over there by the pillagers, but for some reason then they changed their focus. I'm guessing the villagers, they got away. But we did nearly die. Kind of. We were below half health anyway. So I'm desperately running over to see if the villagers are there, and literally my heart sank. I was like, oh, thank God. They're both there. They're in. They're safe. So we just need to get them out the minecart and not punch them. So that's one out, and then we'll do this one as well. Again, not punching them. Yeah, sorry about that, mate. Now we're just on to kind of finishing the actual villager breeder. We're not going to connect up the system that takes the villagers out just yet, just because we don't need them at the moment. We just want to get some villagers in there in readiness, and then we can add that on at a later date. So this that we're building here is the tunnel, or the kind of little channel they go down once the babies walk through the trap doors. This is where the beds will go, and yeah, the baby villagers will fit through the hole in the trap doors there and walk straight into a water stream that will then take them down to where that wall is on the floor. And when they grow up, their heads will be in water that we'll place in a moment, and they'll end up in the breeder. But do make sure that you like the video if you are enjoying it, and subscribe if you want to see some more content like this as well. just talking a little bit less about the villager breeder. I don't know how many people will make it this far into the video, so if you have, thank you very much. I'm still umming and ahhing about the content style. I don't know whether this is kind of the content style that I want to do, or if I'm going to do kind of more live but cut up commentary. Not 100% just yet, but yeah, this is the kind of style of video we'll do where we'll build things and stuff like that. So the beds are down now. The farm is theoretically operational. We're just going to put a roof on it. We'll put some lightning rods down as well to prevent the lightning turning the villagers into witches. And that's it. That's the end of the video. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe for more.